So yeah, they're all saying their goodbyes to the team because they're about to leave. Chris blushed in embarrassment. I haven't really gotten used to this fighting thing yet. I wasn't even trying to hide it when I got turned into a boy. I'm still scared about what could happen down the road, he said, making Lucario place his left hand on his trainer's back for some moral support. Yeah, I know. So what I wanted to say to you is that you should rely on others, Ness said, looking back at Paula, Juff and Pooh. Things have gotten nastier the more I travel. It will surely be the same thing to you. But as long as you have people watching your back all the time, he smiled and nodded at his group before looking up at Chris, you will get braver. Slowly but surely, you won't have to be so scared as you keep relying on others. They will have to rely on you, though. What I say is that no matter what happens, just remember that people look out for you because they care. He chuckled. You and Lucario came down here because you cared about me, after all, even if we didn't know each other, right? This is so cheesy. Ness, Ness, Chris stuttered, finding a lot of truth in Ness's words. Thank you. I can't believe you were going to tell me this. Ness let go of Chris's hand and looked a bit peeved. I have a heart too, you know. I just wanted to give you some support so it doesn't look like everything's lost, he shot back. Paula giggled. Wow, Ness, you look more mature now that you said that to him. You can be a nice person when you don't want to rip someone's head off. No offense to you, Lucario, she said, earning a grunting sound from Ness and Lucario. Both Juff and Pooh exchanged small laughs at Ness's expense, and so did Chris, who felt much better with everyone sharing a nice moment before he would have to leave. If only there was a way to remember the event. A fanfare suddenly blared off from out of nowhere. From the skies, a spinning man wearing a trademark black top hat and tuxedo descended with all the serenity of the world, with his camera tightly held between his hands. Somehow landing softly on a patch of perfect grass, the man chuckled loudly enough to get everyone's attention. I remember this guy. A picture's taken instantaneously, he said gleefully. I am a photographic genius, if I do say so myself. You again, Ness said, while Lucario cringed that he couldn't detect the man's aura falling from the sky once. A moment of silence followed until Paula sighed. You know what? If we want to remember their departure with something, now's a good time to take a picture, even if we completely forgot about this person, she said. I didn't, photographer man. I remembered you. The others exchanged glances for a moment and shrugged their shoulders, thinking the same thing as Paula. Okay, get ready for an instant memory. Memory. I can't fucking do the French R, whatever. Okay. Without further questioning the photographer, the group of children and their otherworldly friends prepared themselves for the group photo, with Juff, Paul, and Ness and Pooh on the front and Chris and Lucario on the back, though Chris put Pichu away just to avoid the implication that the group was celebrating beating him up. The photographer nodded gleefully and focused the camera on them all for a farewell photo that would last for a very long time. Look at the camera. Ready? Say, fuzzy pickles. Fuzzy pickles, and Ness flashed a peace sign right as the click sound rang. After the photographer had left by way of spinning up and disappearing... Oh shit, it's almost the end of the chapter. After the photographer had left by way of spinning up and disappearing in thin air, the groups were ready to go their separate ways. Chris in particular couldn't believe that his first incursion to a new universe came to an end. He felt sad and melancholic looking back at the four children who, in many ways, had helped him instead of the other way around. But then again, the teen admitted that he was still rusty in the ways of travelling through unknown worlds. With Lucario placing his right palm on Chris's back as they passed through the portal, the human reflected on Ness's words that he should rely on others to get used to it, and it would be those words that would help Chris grow more courageous with time, even if it would take a long time for that day to come. The portal received its guests crossing through it, which was the trigger for it to vanish by shrinking and leaving one last glitter of light behind. The Mr. Saturns were in quite a bind after it was revealed that they had a hand in trying to kidnap Ness with a drugged hot spring trick. They weren't sure if they had to fear Ness or be thankful that the other children saved them. There was... Oh shit, they left. Oh, I just remembered. Oh, well, okay. I guess that... I thought we'd go and see them fight Gygus. I guess Ness, Paula, and Juff didn't really have anything approaching character arcs. They were just kind of there for a while. Oh well. I'm not here to do literary critique. I'm just here to read. Especially since I'm pretty shit at both. They weren't sure if they had to fear Ness or be thankful that the other children saved them. There was a lot of arguments between Ness and Paula until he finally gave up and let them go. on the condition that they all would have to help him with whatever he wanted. Slave labor, that's cool. The group thought that this was a right, or at least the best, solution if they wanted Ness to stop giving them looks that sent multiple chills to their rather short spines. Juff wasn't wrong when he thought that Ness was going to make them his slaves if the group of children didn't keep an eye on him. As for Ness's group, Pooh told him that he had to depart back to his kingdom, feeling he wasn't ready for the next trials up ahead. To get his point across, he explained this by letting Ness smack him once, and shockingly, Pooh fainted at the first hit. Telling them that he needed to go somewhere with a long straight path, the fourth child tasked them to go back to Threed once they were finished with a mice sanctuary location inside the cave to the right of the one they came out of. After Ness complained about every useful party member deserting them by the second, Paula helped him to calm down on his complaints. Just as he was about to enter the cave nearby, he looked up to the sky and smiled when he recalled the two otherworldly travelers, wishing them good luck in their adventures, and how there was this nagging feeling telling him that he would fight the bigger threat with them soon. Yeah, fancy that. He's a smasher after all. At the end of the Onett boy's adventure, he would receive all the photographs in his mailbox taken by the mysterious photographer. He would turn blue once he found out that, just like the first shot with Chris and Lucario, the second shot had the same smiling ghost floating right above an ill-looking Juff who had sensed its strange presence nearby. Apparently, since the graveyard, the group was being stalked by this ghost all this time. Holy crap, was what Ness would say eventually.